Welcome back. Our deep dive today, well, it's focused on turning that ambition you feel into real, concrete execution. We're not just looking at sources about, feeling motivated for a day.
No, definitely not.
We're digging into some pretty hard-hitting stuff. Stuff about personal accountability, the sheer urgency of time, and the actual systems you need for consistent action. That kind that's non-negotiable.
Exactly. And these sources, they don't pull any punches. They throw down a challenge right from the start, basically asking, are you really living your life? The one you imagine?
Or just existing.
Or you just, existing. Stuck in your comfort zone, maybe meeting expectations, but not really living. They kind of skip the gentle encouragement and go straight for the mechanics of discipline. Hard truths, really.
Okay, so for you listening, the goal here is to grab two main things. First, understanding why you need to act now, like immediately, to beat that I'll do it later enemy.
Which is a powerful enemy.
Right. And second, how to build what these sources call keystone habits. Think of them as the foundations, the guaranteed systems for making real long-term change happen, maybe even non-linear change.
That's the core.
So let's dive right into that urgency piece. One point that really jumped out at me was this idea that time isn't just something you use, it actually is your life.
Yeah.
The sources are incredibly blunt about it. You are not killing time. Time is killing you.
It's aggressive, isn't it? But it's meant to shock you awake, to make you see how procrastination, even tiny bits of it, is immediately destructive.
Like hitting snooze.
Exactly like hitting snooze. That tiny little decision, right? 5 more minutes of warmth feels good now. But it's not just wasting 5 minutes.
You're training yourself.
You're training your brain. You're telling it that your promises to yourself, your commitments, they don't really matter that much. They can wait.
And the sources link that directly to future pain, future regret. That procrastination is basically your weaker self whispering, don't worry, we'll do the hard stuff later.
And that's the real trap, isn't it? The terrible truth is later just becomes never. It doesn't arrive.
Always late.
Always later. Psychologically, we're wired for that immediate reward, that immediate comfort. And unless you actively fight it, it almost always wins. So the comfort you grab today by putting something off, that becomes the regret you feel tomorrow or next year. It's like a slow poison.
They use this really pertinent example about the person who had a great idea maybe 2 years ago, like starting a serious side project, maybe a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I remember that one. They had the passion, the idea, probably even the basic tools needed.
But they said later. Maybe they were waiting for the perfect camera or the perfect script or just the perfect mood.
Right. Waiting for inspiration. And now they're scrolling social media, watching someone else who did start maybe just 6 months ago, living the exact dream they gave up on. Yeah, Ouch is right. And the regret isn't just, oh, I missed an opportunity. It's deeper. It's regret about the version of themselves they could have become but didn't. It's that feeling of, I saw that future for myself and I just let someone else take it. That's the direct result of later becomes never.
Okay, so to beat that trap, we need to talk about ownership, taking responsibility. The sources get really fierce here, shifting to accountability. The message is crystal clear. Your life is your responsibility, period. Stop blaming, start building.
Yeah, this is where that idea of hunger comes in. People can spend so much energy crafting these really detailed excuses, right? I didn't have the money, I didn't have the support, my background.
All valid challenges.
Sometimes very real challenges. But these sources basically say those are irrelevant as excuses. They're distractions from the real work.
They argue the difference maker isn't really the opportunity you were given or not given. It's that internal fire. It's hunger.
Exactly. The people who make it, they look at their circumstances, whatever they are, and they just decide, okay, this is the hand I was dealt. I don't care what I didn't get. I'm building something anyway, starting now.
From nothing, if necessary.
From nothing. And the classic example they point to is Oprah Winfrey. I mean, think about her start. Overwhelming poverty, terrible abuse, unimaginable challenge.
She had every reason to blame.
Every reason. She could have let those circumstances define her entire life, but she didn't. She chose to use that pain, that hardship as fuel, not as a reason to quit. It's about accepting your story, even the painful parts, but refusing to let it make you a victim. You decide to build.
That's a really powerful reframe. Pain as fuel, not just weight. And you need that fuel because the next point is crucial. Growth just isn't comfortable. Your comfort zone is a trap.
It's the sneakiest trap, too. The silent killer of dreams, as one source puts it. We think comfort means safety, security. But these sources, they frame comfort as pure stagnation.
Like quicksand.
Exactly. If you're always seeking ease, always looking for validation, avoiding risk, you're actually guaranteeing you'll never reach that next level, whatever that means for you. Growth has to happen outside that comfortable little bubble.
I love the analogy they use from nature, the seed. It's so vivid.
The seed analogy, it's perfect.
A tiny seed holds all the potential for a huge, strong tree, right?
Okay.
But if it just stays safe and cozy under the soil,
It achieves nothing, it just rots.
to become anything, it has to do something almost violent. It has to break itself open, push through the dirt, face the wind, the rain, the harsh sun. It has to risk everything.
That's the message. You have to be willing to risk, willing to maybe fail, maybe look foolish for a bit, staying safe, staying comfortable. That's like choosing to die slowly on the inside. You have to break through.
Okay, so we've got the urgency, the need for that internal fire, the understanding that comfort is the enemy. Now let's shift gears to the how, the mechanics,
Right, the strategy.
because motivation fades, right? The second source makes this key point. Real, sustained success. It's less about being the smartest person in the room or having incredible willpower.
Which most of us don't have consistently.
Exactly. It's more about being the most consistent.
Consistency, that's the magic word. It's the lever that multiplies your effort over time. It's not glamorous, maybe, but it's incredibly powerful. And this leads directly to the idea of the keystone habit.
Not just any habit, though.
No, not just any habit. It's the specific habit that acts like a domino. The one that when you lock it in place starts knocking down other positive changes in your life almost automatically.
They explained it using that Roman arch analogy, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, the arch. Very clear.
You've got all these stones making up the arch, all important. But there's that one single stone right at the top center.
The keystone.
The keystone. That's the one that locks everything else together. If you pull that one out, the whole structure just collapses.
And a keystone habit works the same way. It's that one core action you commit to that then forces other positive shifts without you even trying sometimes.
Give us an example.
Okay, so maybe your keystone is super simple. Tracking every single dollar you spend. Every single one. Now, that commitment, that financial awareness, it doesn't just impact your bank balance.
Right. It makes you think differently.
It forces you to be more mindful about purchases, maybe less impulsive. You start planning your week better, packing lunches maybe. It ripples outward.
Or the one we kind of touched on earlier, working out consistently. If that becomes your non-negotiable.
Suddenly, drinking that sugary soda feels counterproductive, right?
Yeah.
You're sabotaging the hard work you just did, so you start reaching for water instead.
And maybe you choose the salad over the burger more often.
Naturally. And because you're physically tired in a good way, you sleep better, deeper. So that one habit, working out, leads to better hydration, healthier eating, improved sleep. Boom, boom, boom. One commitment, multiple positive effects.
So how do you build one? The sources offer a specific method, the law of 100.
Yep, the law of 100. This is where it gets really practical and, frankly, really challenging.
Okay, break it down.
You identify one keystone habit, just one, and you commit, absolutely commit to doing it every single day. No days off, no excuses, for 100 days straight.
Wow, 100 days. Not the usual 21 or 30 days people talk about for habits. Why 100?
It's about psychological weight, I think. 21 days feels kind of short, easy to start, maybe easy to drop off. 30 days is better. But 100 days, that's a serious chunk of time.
It forces a deeper level of commitment.
Exactly. It forces you to actually reorganize your life around making that habit happen rather than just trying to squeeze it into your existing, possibly chaotic schedule. It's designed to weed out the people who are just interested from those who are truly committed.
And there's this really radical recommendation tied to it.
Yeah.
They suggest you basically disappear for those 100 days. Now, hold on. For someone listening who has a job, maybe kids, a busy life, how is that even remotely practical?
Right. It sounds extreme, and it's not meant literally like go live in a cave for 100 days.
Okay, good.
It's more of a philosophical disappearance. It means ruthlessly cutting out the non-essential stuff, the distractions. This ties into another lesson. Starve your distractions.
So, saying no more often.
Saying no a lot more often. Saying no to social things that aren't critical. Turning off those endless phone notifications. Seriously minimizing mindless scrolling. It's about aggressively protecting the time and the mental energy you need for that one law of 100 habit.
You're basically making that one goal the absolute top priority for a defined period.
For 100 days, yes. You're consciously trading some short-term fun, maybe some convenience, for a guaranteed shift in who you are long-term.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But even with that level of commitment, you still face the internal battle, right?
Yeah.
The resistance. Which brings us to stop thinking, start doing.
Oh, yeah. This is huge because your own mind, it can be the biggest cage holding you back. Our brains are incredibly good at inventing reasons not to start, imagining every possible way things could go wrong.
Analysis paralysis.
Totally. You spend weeks planning, researching the perfect way, buying all the gear, writing the perfect first sentence. You basically live out the entire story of failure in your head before you've even taken step one.
They used that swimming analogy, didn't they? The person who reads 50 books on swimming technique.
Yes. Buys the fancy Olympic swimsuit, consults coaches, but won't actually jump in the pool because they're afraid they might splash awkwardly or look clumsy.
The research becomes the excuse not to swim.
Exactly. The analysis becomes a substitute for the action itself.
So how do you fight that? How does the brain fit into this?
Well, understanding a bit about the brain helps. The sources use this metaphor of the brain as a huge forest. Your existing habits, especially the comfortable negative ones, like grabbing your phone the second you wake up, those are like wide, paved, super highways through the forest. Easy to walk down. Effortless.
Okay, I follow.
So when you try to start a new action, especially one that's part of your law of 100, it's hard at first because you're literally forging a new path.
Wait, so you're saying our brain physically changes based on our actions? That's
Exactly.
neuroplasticity, right?
Yeah, it's exactly neuroplasticity.
Wow.
Your brain isn't fixed. It's adaptable. It's malleable. When you start that law of 100, it's like you're taking out a machete and hacking a brand new trail through that dense forest.
Sounds difficult.
It is difficult and awkward and uncomfortable
Well,
on day 1, day 5, maybe even day 50. But here's the magic. By day 100, because you walk that path every single day, relentlessly,
it becomes easier.
it becomes worn in. It might even become the new default path. What felt incredibly hard at the beginning starts to feel automatic, maybe even subconscious eventually. You've rewired your brain through consistent action.
That's powerful. And for a really simple, practical tool to help force that consistency, they bring up the Seinfeld calendar technique.
Ah, yes. Pure visual accountability. Love this one.
Explain it.
So Jerry Seinfeld apparently understood that motivation comes and goes, but addiction can be cultivated. He got himself a huge wall calendar, like one that shows the whole year, and a big red marker. His goal was simple. Write jokes every single day. Didn't matter if they were good jokes or terrible jokes. Just had to do the writing. And if he did it, he put a big, satisfying red X over that day on the calendar.
So he could see his progress visually.
Exactly. But the real goal wasn't just the individual X's. It was creating a chain of red X's. Day after day, week after week, month after month.
And the addiction.
The addiction became not breaking the chain. That became the motivation. Not necessarily writing a brilliant joke today, but simply preserving that beautiful, unbroken chain of red X's.
Don't break the chain.
Don't break the chain. It brilliantly shifts your focus from the outcome, was my work good today, which can be paralyzing, to the process, did I show up today?
Right.
That's the core. You don't need to feel inspired. You don't even need to believe in yourself fully at the start.
Belief follows action.
Belief is the result of doing the work consistently. It's not something you need to have before you begin. Just start the chain.
Okay, so we've built the internal system, the mindset, the strategy, but even the best system can get knocked off course by outside stuff, right? External forces.
Absolutely. And the biggest one the sources identify. Comparison. This leads to the lesson. Comparison is literally killing you, or at least killing your progress.
How so?
Because it's based on a lie. The sources put it so clearly. You are comparing your entire 24 hours, your struggles, your mess-ups, your boring bits, your reality, with someone else's carefully curated 15-second highlight reel on social media.
That's a rigged game.
It's an impossible game. It's built on fiction. You're setting yourself up for misery if you play it.
They had that beautiful analogy, too.
Yeah.
The sunflower and the rose.
Oh, I loved that one. So simple, so true. If a sunflower spends its time looking at a rose, envying its intricate petals and deep red color,
And the rose looks at the sunflower, wishing it was tall and bright yellow.
they both completely miss their own unique beauty, their own purpose. They forget what makes them special. The takeaway is simple. The only race that matters is the one against the person you were yesterday. Are you getting slightly better? That's it.
And that constant comparing, looking outward for validation, often fuels the next big external trap, living up to other people's expectations.
Yes, the prison of expectations. They tell the story of Nick, I think, this guy who's just deeply unhappy, miserable in a good, high-paying job that he absolutely hates.
Why doesn't he leave?
Because he's trapped. He's living his life based on what he thinks his family expects, or what society deems successful, or what looks good to his peers. He's more afraid of the potential shame of trying something different and failing than he is of the quiet pain of regret he feels every single day.
That's a rough spot to be in.
It's soul-crushing. And the sources are really blunt here. If you build your life just to make other people happy or comfortable, you are basically guaranteeing you will end up hating yourself. You'll wear the mask, smile for everyone else, but inside you'll be mourning the life you could have lived.
So the command is, break free. Choose your own path, regardless of approval.
You have to. And part of choosing that path is being smart about whose advice you take. That's another lesson. Don't take advice from people who haven't actually done the thing you're trying to do.
Makes sense? Don't ask your perpetually broke uncle for tips on building wealth.
Exactly. Seek counsel from those who have walked the path successfully. But ultimately, the most critical step is that you have to pick yourself.
What does that mean exactly? Pick yourself.
It means understanding that the world, generally speaking, is set up to ignore you until you've already succeeded. Nobody is going to knock on your door and hand you your dream. You can't wait for someone else to give you permission. You can't wait for validation.
You have to be your own first believer.
You have to be. The J.K. Rowling example is perfect here. 12 rejections for Harry Potter. 12 times the official publishing world said, no, this isn't good enough.
Imagine stopping after rejection number 5. Or 10.
Right. But she didn't accept their verdict. She kept pushing. She picked herself, believed in her story, and basically forced the world to pay attention. You have to be the one to metaphorically write your own name on the opportunity and say, this is mine, I'm doing this.
Okay, so this really brings us full circle. The final summary seems to be about this internal battle.
Yeah.
The real conflict is always you versus you.
Always.
It's that constant, daily, sometimes minute-by-minute choice between the part of you that wants comfort, that's scared, that's lazy.
That part that wants to hit snooze.
Exactly. Versus the part of you that's ambitious, that's hungry, the part that understands that challenge. Even pain can be the fuel you need.
And this loops back perfectly to consistency, but maybe looking at it from a longer perspective, that Chinese bamboo story they shared, it illustrates this so well.
Remind us how that goes.
Okay, so you plant this special bamboo seed, you water it, you fertilize it, you tend to it carefully for 1 year. Nothing. 2 years. Still nothing above ground. 3, 4, 5 years. Absolutely zero visible growth.
That sounds incredibly frustrating, like the law of 100 feeling like it's not working.
Precisely. All that effort, all that faith, and nothing to show for it. You'd be tempted to give up, right? Think the seed was dead or the ground was bad.
Totally.
But then, sometime in that 5th or 6th year, assuming you kept watering, kept nurturing, the bamboo finally breaks through the ground, and then it explodes. It shoots up 80 feet, sometimes more, in just 6 weeks.
Wow. 80 feet in 6 weeks after years of nothing.
Exactly, because all those years weren't wasted. The bamboo was building this incredibly complex, massive root system underground, unseen, preparing. That's what real success often looks like. That long period of consistent, often invisible, unglamorous work, laying the foundation. And then comes the breakthrough, the hockey stick moment that looks sudden to everyone else.
But it wasn't sudden at all.
Not at all. It was earned through relentless, unyielding consistency, trusting the process even when you couldn't see the results yet, refusing to quit.
That mental model, understanding the difference between visible effort and maybe invisible progress, that feels essential for transformation.
It is. And that really leads us to the final thought we want to leave you with. It's a provocative one, drawing from that lesson, no risk, no story.
Okay, let's hear.
Think about this. If you were to commit right now, today, to one single keystone habit, the one that resonates most with you, and you did it every single day, no excuses, no breaks, not just for 100 days, but let's stretch it. Let's say for the next 3 years.
3 years of daily consistency on one key thing.
Yes. What version of yourself would you inevitably, undeniably become? Think about the compounding effect. What incredible guaranteed potential, what guaranteed breakthrough might you be walking away from right now simply because you got discouraged and stopped one day too soon? What story are you failing to write?